Okay, what's happened here is they've deleted this video. Well, they haven't deleted it. They haven't loaded it 3 times, and then the 4th and 5th time they loaded it, they deleted it once, and then they muted it the last time. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record it.
Fair use, criticism, and research. You have no right to mute my proprietary property. If you do, that's going to be a felony. Boys are reaching so bad, and you girls, it's pathetic and it shows. Look at here, dude. This is insane. TikTok Go violation. Let's click on it. Let's get the police lights going. Get them all spooled up. There we go. Get the red and blues going. Here we go. We've reviewed your appeal and found your post violates our TikTok location policy. The restrictions applied will not be removed. Excuse me? So... oh my gosh. So this is what I said. Location, review details. Texas, where everything is bigger. The hearts, the trucks, the travel, all huge. So this was a rating for a place that I gave. And they said that I couldn't rate it. You know what this is? This is a direct blocking of research. 6/5/2026. This is a full-ass on felony.
The internet was invented.
You shouldn't be penalized for giving fucking reviews. That's the whole deal of the review, you dumbass.
It was invented for research.
So this is a felony. Straight up felony. I gave a review, and they nitpicked it, and they said it was in violation. How the frick is a review in violation? You know what I mean? Location review removed. Like, this is pathetic. The amount of trouble that y'all go through in order to try to find something specifically to violate me with is insane. Y'all have a problem. The problem is harassment and stalking. And you're stalking me and you're harassing me and you fucking know it. So, since you hadn't done anything about it, since you hadn't secured anything me, and since you secured everything you, we're going to go ahead and unsecure everything you in court. 18 U.S.C. 241 and 242. Oppressing my fucking review rights. The logical thing, right, on TikTok, I appealed it, and the appeal was not approved. I put research. I live here. It was funny and fine. 18 U.S.C. 241 and 242. I included the Texas Constitution, the Texas Constitution amendments for freedom of speech, and then I included the DMCA, where it says it's illegal for you to infringe someone and get paid to infringe. And so, no, I'm not.
A review is criticism. If you ask someone for a review, it's a felony to then not accept their review. That's a moron. Larry Ellison needs to change
Unbelievable, bro.
Depends
Unbelievable. I can't click on it, all the things that I said, but... Man, that's what it is. Larry Ellis is just too old, senile to remember the Constitution and shit like that. You know what I mean? Network unstable, that's funny. Yeah, dude's just an old man. He's just forgotten his marbles, that's all. He's grown himself into retardation is all. You know? We just gotta sue him back into that mental stability area. Hey, Larry Ellison. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you still upright. You know what I mean? Why don't you slap a new Depends on your underside there, and you have a little bit better day on everybody's behalf. You know what I mean? Because it just seems like to me, you're all up in defenses about everything. You want to surveil everybody. You want to espionage everybody. How about everybody just start espionaging your old creepy ass, your old senile ass? Let's get up to date on your diapers. Let's get up to date on your underwear. Let's get up to date on what Larry Ellison is doing today. Let's get up to date on Larry Ellison and what exactly he's thinking right now, shall we? Let's espionage Larry Ellison. Let's see how Larry Ellison feels about all the espionage he's creating for all Americans as a terrorist, old senile man. Let's see how Larry feels about it. Let's ask Larry, Larry, how do you feel about being watched, Tinkle? How do you feel about being watched, putting your depends on? How do you feel about being watched on everything you do, Larry? Larry, how do you feel? Oh, you like it? You like it so that somebody sees you fall down, they can come help pick you up. I get that. But what about all the other things, Larry? Do you like being watched doing everything? Doing everything, Larry. Everything. No, I mean everything, Larry. Larry, tell me how you feel, Larry. Larry, talk to me, Goose. Talk to me, Larry. Talk to me, Larry. Why are you so silent? Fucking senile old man. Go read a book, bitch. Man, that's what it is. Larry Ellison's just too old and senile to remember the Constitution and shit like that. You know what I mean? Network unstable, that's funny. Yeah, dude's just an old man. He's just forgotten his marbles, that's all. He's grown himself into retardation is all. You know? We just gotta sue him back into that mental stability area. Fair use, criticism, and research. You have no right to mute my proprietary property. If you do, that's going to be a felony. Boys are reaching so...
So they muted the one with the green picture and the one with the white. The one with the white was the beginning of this video and one section of it of just all the, you know, screen video recording of what they did. And then there's the second video in the green that they muted because they didn't like what I said. So, you know, and then there's 3 other videos in between that they refused to load. So we got them all here in this one combined at 61% loading. Let's see what it does. This is on Truth Fires, 6/5/2026. We got a 5G connection and a Wi-Fi connection. It hangs at 61%. Right. Okie dokie. Well, while y'all are watching me on my phone cameras while I'm trying to load this device, just remember that everything that you see on these cameras while you're watching me is going to be thrown out of court. You know why? Because you're illegally surveilling me. That's why. So anything you think you see me doing illegally is going to be thrown right back in your face. And the questions are going to be asked. Why are you surveilling the boy? You got no right. You're a TikTok media outlet. Oh, but you work for the CIA and Larry Ellison and Donald Trump and Elon Musk. I forgot. Yeah, all y'all are combined. Yep. You and Gates and Fauci. Yeah, I remember. I remember now. Yeah. It's all coming back. Y'all better load this video or y'all gonna keep me talking on this daggum screen video recording a little too long. I know y'all don't like me talking too long. So you might want to speed up the loading process of this video, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my network is unstable? Come on, meow. It doesn't look unstable. The 5G's at the same spot it was and the 5 bars are at the same spot they were. Why you gotta lie, pig? Why you gotta lie? You know, that's one thing about the government they taught us in school. The government taught us in school real quick. They go, hey, which one of y'all in this class did that? And then they go, well, since one of y'all did it, all y'all going to be punished, remember? You know, the government still does that to us today, right? And y'all think y'all are voting? The shit's comical, okay? The shit is comical. You think you're in charge of picking? Really? You do? You really think so? When you go and share stuff like this and you see people sharing stuff like this, do you still think you're in charge of voting? Come on. Stop being silly. Stop being silly. Put down that daggone crack pipe that you got mentally stability in your head and pick up some open-mindedness. You know dang on well you hadn't voted. You had never voted. The last time you voted was in school. And it was funny that the government operation in school taught us what really voting was. What real voting was. Remember when you voted for class president and prom queen, prom king? You remember that? Where you actually wrote on a blank piece of paper a name from your head instead of marking a box and checking a box that they had already had printed on the piece of paper? That's the biggest difference in reality of voting that ever could be. Writing the name from scratch versus picking multiple choice. When you pick multiple choice, that's not a vote. Somebody else has voted for you because they picked the people to vote for you. For you to vote for, excuse me. So as you can see, it's all a lie. And they've been controlling it for years. Heck, even Elon Musk said on Twitter, if it wasn't for him, Donald Trump wouldn't have won. Now that tells me he spent money, invested money on developing Donald Trump into presidency, as well as used all his software and hardware computer capabilities as a nerd would to help another nerd win. Now you got three nerds on record helping each other. You got Donald Trump helping Elon Musk helping Donald Trump, and then you have Larry Ellison helping Elon Musk. Now you got a group of three. The group of three conveniently quickly grows to the group of five when you include Bill Gates and Fauci. Now you see the five that we have to deal with. These are the five richest precipice skin bags on the face of this earth that have created probably within the group of five over 5 million victims. 5 million victims. These five people. All of them have been convicted and been guilty of a crime, but not prosecuted. Never that. Never that. Trump, reigning all-time record professional in presidential status, is the first president to sit as a United States American president with 38 guilty felonies under his belt and hadn't gotten prosecuted for one. Why? Because full immunity runs prevalent. So I'm going to wrap it up with this. With all this surveillance that they got going on, all the cameras everywhere, all the computers watching everybody do everything, all the technology that watches us and scans our biometrics, the problem isn't watching us. The problem is prosecuting the criminals. We already have a prosecution problem before we ever had the surveillance. As the surveillance ramps, the prosecution problem is going to get worse and worse and worse. And it's going to be obvious, as it already is to most of us, that justice is only one-sided and there is no such thing as justice. All of this AI, all of these data centers are going to be used to big brother us, to surveil us, and try to trick us into doing things wrong, trying to catch us at doing things wrong, and try to frame us at doing things wrong, because every time we do something wrong, they have put some kind of law up, even if it's a mistake of ours that we didn't mean to do, they put some kind of law up to capitalize money off of our mistake. So you could see how profitable this would be when you start opening data centers with each connection paying you $300 a connection. $300 a connection. And look at how big these buildings are. How much do you estimate? How many connections do you estimate in a 65-mile square area building of data research? How many connections do you think that has? That's how much money it's generating. And it's doing that by estimation, by capturing people making mistakes and doing things wrong, and then punishing them for it. Now here we have a situation where data centers have already been built, and a bunch more are being built behind them, and the few that are built right now are already putting people in jail and creating victims. So let me look this up. Durango, was it a Durango? Gets impounded from fleeing accident. Flock camera is wrong. Yeah, here we are. That's the case right there on Facebook. Demi Johnson, WFTV. Where's my sound?
State troopers originally said was part of that triple fatal crash on I-4 is no longer in the Florida Highway Patrol custody. Good evening and good afternoon. I'm Greg Warman.
I'm Darlene Jones. Only Channel 9 was there today when it was inspected and removed from a tow yard. On Friday, we were first to tell you that all of the charges were dropped against Lindsay Isaacs, the woman you see there on the left. This past Saturday, we learned prosecutors charged and arrested Alicia Montalvo, who you see there on the right. Channel 9 Volusia County reporter Demi Johnson is live at the FHP office in DeLand. And Demi, you're asking what's next in all of this?
Yeah, Darlene, we're asking if the troopers who were involved in this investigation are going to be investigated or even face charges. Lindsay Isaacs' arrest report said that she was driving at aggressively high speeds and that her car had significant damage. Well, I went to the tow yard today. I saw the car with my own eyes and I didn't see any damage on it. How do you feel looking at it now?
I can't believe that my beautiful Dodge Durango is in front of me. First time I'm seeing it in 8 months.
Lindsay Isaacs' black Dodge Durango is now in her defense team's custody as they prepare for a civil lawsuit for her wrongful arrest.
We're going to move it to inside secure storage at one of our facilities.
I bet they are.
Keep it like it is.
Bullshit.
Like we found it.
FHP investigators originally accused Isaacs of causing the crash because her car appeared on a license plate reader near the scene and had smudges on it. But prosecutors became concerned with the lack of evidence, including the fact that Isaacs' car had no damage consistent with a crash. John Buchanan, who's an expert witness in accident reconstruction, was hired by Isaacs' defense team.
None of the evidence matched up. That's number one. Number two is when they brought the vehicles here, those vehicles need to be placed in inside storage and secured.
Alyssa Montalvo is now under arrest after a higher level team of investigators got involved. Her warrant shows interviews from witnesses who were never contacted. The team uncovered a 911 call that described the car as maroon and not black, and investigators also learned Montalvo's car had body work done after the crash, and the onboard computer showed her driving 112 miles an hour before the crash.
We're not having a hard time finding out what went wrong. We're kind of having a hard time finding out what went right.
Yeah.
Isaacs' attorney Patrick McGeehan told me he now has meetings with the head of FHP, the Attorney General's office, and our state attorney's office to talk about specifically what's going to happen to the troopers who were involved in investigating this crash. Live in DeLand, Demi Johnson, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Demi.
So Clayton Tucker.
Knock it off.
Passes,
Damn computer. It goes right to the next video. So, in summary, a license plate reader off of a flock camera put her within 2 miles of a multi-car accident, and that sparked interest of the police officer to frame her, impound her car, put her in jail for causing a multi-car pileup that she never caused. She wasn't even there. So here we have a case, the first case that I've heard of to date, where AI has gone completely off the edge and done something completely wrong and framed someone wrongfully. That means AI has garbled up its own evidence. I hope you understand, I hope you comprehend how significant this is in the entire operation of all the data centers combined. Because this is exactly what we're going to see a fuck ton more of in the future. This is exactly what we were screaming about was going to happen. This is exactly what we were telling everybody was going to happen, and now it's happened. Now what? Now what? We spread the message. That's what. Meanwhile, AI is working against me to load this video. Meanwhile, AI is working against you not to share this video to you. Meanwhile, AI is working against you in everything that you're doing because you seeked my video, because you watched my video. Now AI is tracking you, and AI has flagged you, and AI says, no, you can't do this. And now AI is taking your keyboard functions completely away from a phone that you have paid for completely, in full. Does any of this sound familiar? Because this is my life. This is what I've already experienced and already shared with you on camera on Turbo World Rumble, on @TurboVeracity on YouTube, and @OG Turbo World, one word, on YouTube, and on Facebook, Turbo World Groups, and Chris Weldy, KRISWELDY Facebook, and Turbo World Clapper, and Turbo World Twitter. We're everywhere, baby. You're not going to stop us just because you think you're stopping me from making a video here, and you're stopping me from loading a video here, and then you think you're stopping me because you muted a video here. I've already got all these things loaded up. I made them beforehand. I'm not that dumb. I don't trust anything you. Nobody trusts anything you, TikTok. That's why we get away with the things we do, because we know not to trust you, first and foremost. So we don't make videos in your stupid little program. We make videos outside the stupid little program. We pre-record them, and then we assemble them in your stupid little program. And your stupid little program can kick them out as many times as they want, mute them as many times as they want. But all it takes is one time to get it through where I could save it and distribute it. And you know what? I've figured out now that I don't even have to get it through. I could just screen video record it and not even share it. It doesn't even fucking matter. Turns out, I don't need you to approve or disprove anything, because you're not going to stop me no matter which way you think you got me. And the reason for that is because of the faith that I have in the good Lord and Creator above, and the works I've done accordingly. Now, if you excuse me, I got a radiator to put in the car. Oh, look at that, it's already in the car. Shoot, man, I got a video to edit about putting a radiator in a car this Friday. Isn't it an excellent day? We've had 6-7 days of rain straight. The pool has flooded 3 times this week. We've had just about all the tadpoles wash out of all the tadpole ponds, but the first pond had them hatched. Well, had them hatched. We got frogs out of the first pond is what I'm trying to say. We got little toadies bouncing around. And they knocked out my Wi-Fi extender and one of my cameras and a pool pump during the last lightning storm 2 days ago. We recorded that on Rumble. It's out there on Rumble Turbo World if you want to see that footage. I got so much footage coming out of my ears, I ain't got enough places to share it. You understand me? I obviously can't share it at daggum TikTok because, you know, Larry Ellison hadn't changed his depends, and he's especially moody apparently and stinky. He don't want to honor nothing United States. Hey, Larry, where are you living these days? Let's do a search and see where Larry is living these days. He can't be in the United States. He can't live in the United States treating people like that. There's no way, dude. There's no way. Let's see. Where does Larry Ellison stay? I want to visit him. I want to visit him, give him a card. Give him a birthday card. Ellison. Live. Where does he live? Co-founder of Oracle primarily resides in Manalapan, Florida. 16-acre oceanfront estate he purchased in 2022 for record-setting $173 million. Well, it's only a matter of time before the good Lord washes that thing into a pile of sand. I guarantee it. As much badness as that dude's creating right now and as many victims as he's creating, it don't matter where he's living, the Lord's going to come get him. He's going to come get him. And he ain't taking him with him. He's taking him to a special place below, I promise you. Yeah. So he's got Lana, Hawaii. He owns 98% of Hawaiian Island, Lana, which he purchased in 2012 for $300 million. Woodside, California, he's got a 23-acre Silicon Valley compound modeled after a 16th century Japanese imperial palace. That's funny that he owns a Chinese corporation and he plays homage to Japan. Huh, I wonder what ByteDance thinks about that shit. That is very interesting. Malibu, because, Japanese hate Chinese, Malibu, California. Ellison owns an estimated dozen oceanfront properties in Malibu, a dozen of them. Many of them on the exclusive Carbon Beach, often referred to as Billionaire's Beach, of course. Newport, Rhode Island, he owns several historic properties, including the Beechwood Mansion, which once was Astor's family's summer home. He has spent over $100 million renovating it a prime museum for his European art collection. Rancho Mirage, California, 246-acre desert golf compound called Porcupine Creek. You've got to be kidding me. He owns Porcupine Creek? What the fuck? Porcupine Creek was the damn show on Black Gold. It was the gold region where they were mining the gold. Remember Porcupine Creek? Black Gold, which he has reimagined into a boutique wellness resort under his Sensei brand. What the entire senile fuck all is going on? This is the same guy that loaned Elon Musk $1 billion with a B? Let me get this right. Let me do a search. Larry Ellison loaned Elon how much for Twitter? Oh my gosh. It was $1 billion with a B. Larry Ellison, co-founder of Oracle and former Tesla board member, invested $1 billion to help fund Elon Musk's $44 billion acquisition of Twitter, now X. Instead of a traditional loan, Ellison provided this as an equity investment. Holy shit. So you understand that Larry Ellison is now kind of a co-shareholder in Twitter as well, okay? So it's no wonder why my ass can't do lives on Twitter, okay? It's no wonder why I have to pay the richest people in the world in order to be freaking hidden by the richest people in the world to do a live on Twitter. If I'm getting hidden doing a live before I pay, what the fuck makes you think I'm going to pay to do anything on your platform, you idiot? I mean, come on. Give it a break. Look at us right now. We've been 28 minutes long loading this 5-minute video with 5 bars and 5G. All about the 5. Look at it go. Look at this AT&T high-speed internet connection go, boy. Look at this fiber optic connection fly. Look at this 5G fly. Look at it just sailing in the wind for Larry Ellison. You know what I mean? Here's one thing in common, the moral of the story of everything you've been watching so far. You see how they all control it for them. It's all controlled for them. The 5 richest idiots in the world are now controlling all of our lives with all the technology on our property. How do you feel about that? Are you still worshiping your old Donnie Trump? You gonna vote for him next year? Yeah, I can tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not voting at all. At all. I'm not voting. There ain't nobody to vote for. and there ain't no system that's right to vote for. I'm not participating in it. I do not give oaths to any of these people, any of these corporations, none of it. No oaths. None. The only oath I give is to my Lord, the great creator above. And that's it. So, just remember that while we're still getting rain, and it's projected that we're supposed to be getting rain for over, I think it's 12 to 14 days straight, just remember, they control the weather, and they controlled it since 1947. And when you control the weather, you control everything. You control things that you can hide on land. Because now you can put it underwater, and then you can make it man-made. And when you make it man-made, the government says, oh, it's man-made. Well, you got to get permission to go down there in the water and discover. And so you go and you get permission to go discover. They don't give you permission to discover the things you know are down there to be discovered. That's the scam. When you control the weather, you control transportation, you control communications, you control it all. You control what you can hide. You can control the future. You can control the present. You can make things disappear. You have assembled events that you know are scheduled to happen. You can rain them out. Make them disappear. And everybody will just say, oh, it was just a natural event. Folks, I don't know when everybody's going to wake up around here, but the things you think are natural aren't natural anymore. Attention! Wake up! Wake up! God ain't controlling it. They are. God will be controlling it here soon, but they're controlling it right now. This is the problem we have. Are we going to take the power back? We got everything to do it with. We got all the tools to do it with. Where is all the bodies at to do it with? Y'all talk about y'all tired of this shit. Y'all talk about y'all sick of this shit. But all y'all doing is talking about this shit. Ain't none of y'all really putting your ass where your mouth is. You ain't doing it like I'm doing it. I can tell you that damn much right now. I'm watching y'all's videos. I'm listening to y'all's videos. Ain't none of y'all motherfuckers saying shit like I'm saying. Not any of y'all. Not one. Not one motherfucker in this joint saying shit like I'm saying. That's why I get the special benefits. Special privileges. I guess ain't not one of y'all motherfuckers been abused as bad as I've been abused in. I reckon that's the deal. I reckon that not one of y'all ran away from home the third time at 15 and watched your mother lie to everybody in the county, and everybody in the county believed them. Not once, not twice, but 5 different times. And the 5th time you ran away and you got out of that shit yourself. You never gave up. You never backed down. I guess none of y'all experienced that. Well, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. For the first time in your life, maybe it's the first time in your life that you should pick up your shit and just go, you know what? I'm running away from this shit. It's bullshit. I don't like it. I don't represent, this shit doesn't represent me, and this government doesn't represent me. They're nasty, they're vile, they're ugly, and they're violent. And all they want to do is surveil people and put them in cages and demean everybody, but they don't want to take any criticism, and they don't want anything back, and that's called hypocrisy. They're all hypocrites in each one of their seats that they sit in right now. Every single fucking one of them. Every one of those politic ants is a politic that can't represent us. They represent themselves, and they protect the corporations. It never was about us. You voted, if you thought you voted for corporation puppets. You didn't vote for representatives for yourself. They lied. All throughout history, they lied. All throughout our lives, they've lied. I don't have to show you. I can tell you, and you can look back in your life for yourself. You can do that. You have those records. You remember what your family was saying. You remember what your neighbors were saying. You remember everybody was saying and talking about government and taxes and the price of everything. Meanwhile, we have record profits at the top, folks. Record profits. Name a time when you remember a president renovating the fucking White House because they have so much money. Oh, we're going to put a ballroom in there because we're so rich. I think you spelled that wrong. I think you need to add another A, bud. You put a ballroom in there, is what you did. And we all know it. And then you got to have the violent court out front of the White House. The violent court, right?